Hello and welcome back to another episode of Pathfinder Kingmaker. My name is Syken and today we are continuing our Pathfinder Kingmaker challenge run. I'm trying to go as far as I can in this game on hard difficulty. Second hardest difficulty is really hard. And on top of that we're playing the Last Azlanti, which makes it very, very hard because the moment that Hawkbite, our main character, dies, the run is over. And then on top of it, we're only using D tier and F tier builds. So single monoclass character classes that are underpowered. And we're going to see how far we're coming. So it's time for the end of act number 1. I'm pretty happy how all of that turned out.
It is done.
We're going to do a lot of shopping here, but I wanted to show you kind of the cinematics. So, Hawkbite, can I talk to you? Says Valerie. Now that the Stag Lord is defeated, you rightfully own the stolen lands. Gemeni Aldori will endorse you and grant you the Baron's title. What will you do when you sit on the throne, Hawkbite? Please, don't say that you haven't thought about that. There's enough work to do in the Stone Lands, running off bandits, founding a state, founding to the common people. To be honest, I didn't expect any other answer from you. You're a noble person, Hawkbite, and I'm glad I can serve for the good of the state.
No stopping now.
Okay, still the same people as before, but Kirsten here should be happy about what we see.
Used to be. In any case, I brought shame upon my name and was punished accordingly. But fair enough. My father was, don't imagine that I ask for pity. Everyone gets what they deserve. What's done is done. Well then, ask away. As you wish.
So that apparently was not solving it. The Stag Lord is gone. We have found his fortress and sent the villain into oblivion. 90 experience only, my dude. Oh god, riddance. Maybe now we'll actually be able to live in the Stolen Lands rather than just surviving. Without a doubt, more people will flock here. Now I'm surely boost trades. But all this noise they bring with them, well, that's none of your concern, I'll bet. Wait for the return to Restov and report your great victory. Alright, let's set off to Restov and report the great victory because we have no further business.
Good work. Nice to see I haven't lost my intuition for people.
That's more like
it.
it's 600 experience.
To set out to the Stolen Lands and return with the Stag Lord's head, but I knew you could handle it. Congratulations are in order. Today, you'll receive the title of Baron before the High Society of Restov, and even Natala Sertova personally. God's bless her. Tomorrow, you'll be able to return to the Stolen Lands if you wish, but this time as a ruler. But matters of state can wait. For now, enjoy this feast in your honor. All the city leaders are here. It's a great opportunity to make some useful connections. Speaking of connections, let me introduce you to Kasil Eldori. He's my adopted son and apprentice. He's a trustworthy man. I'd like to send him with you as an envoy.
Okay, sure. Do you already know about my encounter with
Of course.
Tracucio?
Keston gave me a full report. You dealt with the scoundrel perfectly. It would be naive to think that none of your neighbors will try to stick their hands in your affairs. Enjoy your evening.
Good, let's take a look what kind of social
Onwards.
circle we have gotten ourselves into. I remember that you can take on a loan for one of the guys. Baron Hannes Devley. And you must be the Stag Lord Butcher. I'm sorry, I quite forgot your name. but you took out the Stag Lord and his gang. And so, Sword Lord Giovanni is granting you permission to take his place, right? Well, congratulations. My lands lie to the west of yours. I suppose we're neighbors now. Alright. Yes, I defeated the Stag Lord. I need you to deserve or prove anything. Countless generations of my glorious ancestors have done that for me. If I had a slightly bigger army, Torto Giamandi would have simply given all of the stone lands to me. Alas, I don't have so many soldiers at my disposal, so she had to urgently make barons. If the likes of you and Varn. So you have no army, no special merits. You were being given the land because you're pretty. Under other circumstances, I'd have you whipped for such words, but let's not ruin Lady Aldori's celebrations. If you want so badly to measure merits, we can do so in another time. Very good. So we got another one here. Handsome man with weather-beaten face grasps your hand tightly in his rough clasped palms. Unlike the rest of the guests in the festival clothes, he wears a simple robe, but only luxuries see on him the holy symbol of Erasteel. Congratulations to your victory. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Evan Kikin, High Priest of Erasteel and the rest of. Oh, bringing law to the Stolen Lands is a difficult endeavor. I would be grateful for any help you can spare. This is truly a noble undertaking. I believe our community will be able to provide you with reasonable assistance. We will help you to construct a shrine in the capital, free of charge, of course. There are many that revere the gods of Restov. They pray for Abadar, patrons of the cities, and for Atzma, gatherer of souls. There are some more rare cults, but there is no denying that the Stag God is the largest congregation here, and no wonder. People here have lived off of farming and hunting for centuries. You are dressed surprisingly simple for festive. The nobles dress in skills and satans to stand out from the poor. A priest wears a simple robe to stand out from the nobles. It was an honor to meet you. Thank you.
March on!
Look at that, if that isn't the tiefling.
Will you drink with me?
Alright, of course,
Oh,
to my
yes.
success.
There's no wine in the world that tastes as rich as victory. But still, there's nothing wrong in cheering your successes with wine. But jokes aside, I came to apologize. I know the words I said in our conversation with Lady Aldery might have offended you, but this was not my intention. The lessons life has dealt me were not easy. I've learned to be wary of new acquaintances, which is why I've refused to join your party. I hope you will forgive me for this weakness and for my harsh words. And I hope you will hear me out, for I have something to tell you.
Apology accepted. What did you want
As
to
it
tell me?
happens, I came across some very valuable information. What brave conqueror of these wild lands wouldn't be intrigued by news of an ancient shrine, possibly full of great treasures? A place such as this was discovered by my old friends from Kadira, and it just so happens to be located in the lands that today become rightfully yours. My friends lack the courage to enter the shrine and seek the treasure, but what will stop us? We who know the taste of battle and have been singed by the same fire.
All right. I'm ready.
I'm sure you'd like to finally gain your official title and celebrate your victory. And I don't like noisy parties and ceremonies. Find me when you return to your dominion. I'll rent a house in your capital. We can discuss the details of our expedition there.
It sounds like a romantical advance
So
to
long,
me.
friend. I'll call you so today because soon enough, all you'll be hearing is, Your Grace, Your Grace, Your Grace.
Okay, treasure hunt it
No
is.
stopping now.
It's still too early for the official proceedings. Go, speak with the guests.
Alright, so another one says, you pulled all of this quite cleverly, I confess. I wasn't convinced your enterprise would succeed, even bet a bottle of my best Pitaxian wine against you. But I'm happy to admit I was wrong. The Eldori has always been adept in finding new talent. I don't believe we have been introduced. So what it seems, I am Isofel Selimos, Lord Mayor of Restov. I rule this town and the adjacent lands. As your northern neighbor, I hope we can look forward to a long and fruitful friendship. So you rule Restov, and what about the Eldori? Breven's politics seem complex and incomprehensible to many. Here in this part of Rosland, the spirit of the northern freedom still lives. We are loyal to the throne, of course. May the gods prolong their lives of His Highness. But here, far from the dominion of the great houses, we have our own way of life. It is especially important now, after these certain events that I probably don't need to name. What kind of events are you talking about? Why an aspiring politician needs not to be well informed. I'm talking, of course, about the disappearance of the ruling house Rognivia. Can you imagine it? An old man Choral conquered our lands 2 centuries ago. It would be shameless lie to say that nobody wished his royal house could have just disappeared to thin air. But once that exact thing happened, turned out nobody was ready for it. Alright, how are things in Restov? I don't want to boast, but have been going well in the recent years. I could immediately produce, let's say, 500 cartloads of building supplies. I'm sure that would give you a good start. In exchange, I would ask for a small favor. Until you repay the debt in full, you simply assume the obligation of contracting building services through Restov's Builders Guild. Do we have a deal? That's a good question. Do we have a deal? Last time I took it, and then I didn't like the fact that we have a loan obligation. Nah, I think this time I'm not taking it, just because last time I had. Last time I've taken it. I don't want to replay it like I did it the first time. Natalia Surover, you were not only tough but quick. Well, congratulations on your victory. Enjoy it while you can. Is that a threat? I would never. Simply wish to warn you in case you didn't fully realize the fate that awaits you, Niverni. What do you think awaits me? Oh, nothing good, I fear. The Eldori, our dearest friend, didn't deem it necessary to inform you of their plans, I assume. You see, they're preparing to separate from Brevoy. It will not be a peaceful process. They lack the strength currently, hence using a legal loophole to create some independent allies. Once the civil war breaks out, your lands will be the first to endure a strike from the Breven's forces. Perhaps they'll erect a memorial stone in independent Restov to honor you. Well, I wouldn't count on that even, really. What would you propose? Oh, in your situation, most reasonable course of action would be to align yourself with the lawful rulers of Breven. Noble houses, the Dori won't dare to rebel, knowing that you will immediately become entrapped. You could help a Brevois to avoid civil war while simultaneously enjoying some well-deserved peace in the lands. I believe Germany has already attempted to impose a guard on you as an emissary. I'm guessing her low-born stepson, the green-skinned boy Casil. It's up to you, of course, but I would recommend you a different envoy. Please meet Shirai Murphy, an experienced diplomat who's more familiar with Brevin's politics than any brawler could be. The old woman bows. I would be happy to help your established diplomatic relationships. Alright, I'll consider it.
It is done.
Good, those are just our friends. Megan Warren, this man is obviously more comfortable on the battlefield than in the company of nobles. He's well built, expensive waistcoats, wearing doesn't quite fit him properly, as though it was borrowed.
Let me introduce myself. I'm Margon Born, the new ruler of Duneswart, your neighbor to the east. Like you, I'm about to be a better. Great job with the Stag Lord, by the way. Not everybody could have examined a whole gang of units with such a small team.
How did you earn the title?
Truth be told, the team and I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. Giovanni Aldori needed a reliable man to take hold of the territory. I'm the captain of a mercenary team, and if that wasn't clear, Barling host. You never heard of us, no? We've done work for Jamari before. This time the task was simple. We just waltzed into an area, cleared it of most brazen monsters, and built a small fort to hold the place. For that, the barony and land to own, that was like a dream job.
How do you feel being a noble?
Like a pheasant on the plate. I've killed all kinds of monsters, but this is the first time I'm so strongly felt turning away. Could get me eaten.
It was nice meeting you.
Goodbye.
Alright, the guy in the east is the warrior, the guy in the west is intriguing, and the guys to the north are trying to pretty much create a civil war and throw us under the bus. Not cool.
So, how do you like our little gathering? I hope you've made some useful connections. Shall we move on to the official proceedings?
Alright, before we begin, I would like to talk about the envoy
My
I'll
apprentice,
take with you.
Casil Aldori, will go with you, won't he?
Alright, it's going to be Chandra
The
Mehdi.
emissary of House Sartova? Well, perhaps it's for the best. As they say, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Excellent. Stand here.
Good, let's go.
Lords and ladies, today we are here to honor 3 brave people who have done the impossible. They've tamed the stolen lands. Baron Hannes Drelev, the new master of Glenabon, Captain Mager Varn, the conqueror of Dunsword, and finally, the tamer of the Shrike Hills, who put an end to the atrocities of the Stag Lord's bandits. Step forward. On behalf of the people of the free city of Restov, I confer upon you this noble title. Rise, your grace.
There we go. We are officially a noble.
Victory! The Stag Lord's dead, and the capital of the new barony has been built in place of his fort. That was how the long and challenging taming of the stolen lands began.
Greetings, Baron. Well, we got our city. Welcome, Your Grace, and once again to congratulate you on your victory and your new title, of course. Lady Jamanti transferred me here. I am at your disposal. I am not one to bestow honors, but I want you to know I'm glad to serve you. I'm here to welcome you on behalf of the new capital citizen. Lord's former stronghold will soon be a thriving city. Worlds travel fast, and the first settlers have already arrived, with new ones approaching as we speak. Where my companions? They are all somewhere around here. Are there any citizens I should know of? Our old acquaintance Joyt is here. Erastiel's clerics are here. Also, emissary from Brevin is here. A blind elf, Desna, who only knows how he managed to get here. He seems peaceful and pleasant. It's up to you if you want to decide to meet them now. What's the mood of the people? I must admit, I've never seen anything like this in my whole life. City, a whole Bernie born right in front of my eyes. The people sense the moment, and today we're feeling proud. Good. Let's enjoy that moment whilst it lasts. Greetings, Your Grace. We are, well, your new subjects. We're selecting a site to build our house. It's wet near the lake and windy up the hill. Fine place to throw garbage at your neighbors' heads, though. Alright, those are rather mundane problems. And the kid says it's a good thing that you got rid of those monsters and bandits, Your Grace. Thank you. Do you recognize this place, Your Grace? This is where the Lord's fortress wall used to be. Not that it saved him at the end, Our workers did a fine job turning this bandit den into the heart of the town. The heart of every town is the main square. We plan to hold street festivities and fairs out here. Look, we already have our first vendor. Very good. Greetings, Your Grace, he says. If you turn to the right from the square, you will end straight up in the tavern. Good, and so the whole kingdom management also begins. I will admit, not my absolute favorite part of the game, but it is what it is. Alright, so here the soldiers are talking a little bit. Oh, that's all nonsense, well, except for the part of the breathing fire. All barons can breathe fire, trust me. Welcome, Your Grace. Glad to serve you. Accurate depiction of the knowledge in the medieval times. Your Grace. These are our guards. They keep the city in order. Nice. That's a really nice look. Here's the observation point. I hope one day your capital will grow as large enough so that we'll be able to see the full extent from the perch. It's nice. Well done. The building in front of us is your residence. That's where we'll head now. So we've reached the main chambers. This is the throne room where you will hold court and receive visitors. Let me draw your attention to this large map. Depicting your barony and its surrounding will mark all of the important scout reports and other news worthy Your Grace's attention. It's good to see you. Let me dispense the formalities and get straight to business. As an emissary of the House Surtova, I'm here to offer you advice. Make sure that you don't do anything reckless. I hope my experience in diplomacy and policy will be of some aid. as you make your first steps as a ruler of this barony. The main thing you should know is that the Baron can solve most of the problems by giving orders to their representatives and advisors. But there are some things you should simply delegate. Issues of special import, such as complicated court hearings and serious threats of security, will demand your personal presence at the capital. Information about these kinds of events will always appear on the map. Remember that you should visit the capital personally at the beginning of each month. By the tradition of Brevin, most of the river kingdoms and their rulers address the day's most important issues and receive visitors. Today you should choose candidates for the highest position in your barony. It's not my place to offer my own thoughts on that. Your cleric, Jot, and Tristan were the first to ask for an audience. I shall leave you with your capable judgment. Be wise, and your rule shall be long and fruitful. Your Grace, allow me to congratulate you on receiving the title of a Baron. I'm confident that you will be able to bring order to the troubled lands. Though, to be honest, it isn't exactly what we wanted to speak to you about. Tristan and I have been talking a great deal about what happened at the Temple of the Elk. It doesn't all make sense to us yet, but one thing is clear: there is a powerful curse at work. If it corrupted the very essence of the sacred place, stepping in it with putrescence. I'm disgusted with whoever could have done that. And now there is a new woe. Tristan and I believe the curse did not simply disperse on its own accord. There is a place near the capital rumored by the locals to be cursed. Tristan and I visited the dreadful place, and we felt the same presence as in the Temple of the Elk. Alright, where's that place? There's a bald hilltop not far from here, to the north of the capital. Its crown is entirely barren of local life. Locals believe the rituals glorified the dark gods and were held there, back in the ancient times. There is no longer any trace of such rituals, but the air around the hilltop is heavy, to the point of stifling. This place is like a rotten wound, closed but not healed. And this wound will undoubtedly open again. Tristan and I feel something is approaching, something ominous. The curse will return to plague us once more, I swear by Elestriel. Alright, we'll go as soon as we're able. And Tristan says I would be happy to accompany you. I agree with Tristan. We have been at this hilltop. It's barren, but filled with a dense atmosphere of unease. What do you suggest? The curse will grow in strength, and we predict it will peak in its strength in about 1 month. That is when we should visit Bald Hilltop and resolve the issue. For now, we can only wait and prepare. We beg your pardon, Your Grace, for intervening. With you getting the grasp on your balcony, I'm sure you have even more pressing matters right at hand. And these are those events that will eventually start to pile up. So we call this Hogbite's Den. Or just Hogbite's Lands. Yeah, I like that. It's not the Stolen Lands anymore. So, let's see. We're starting with advisors, shall we? Plenty of them. So, the regent ensures subjects compliant, concerns, and heard by the rulers serve as a link between barons and the people. Choose an advisor. We want an advisor who is actually good at it. Not get with a regent first. Counselor. The counselor deals with troubles of the common folk and helps to settle the disputes. So, +4 is not too bad. Clearly -6 is not great. So that's likely her. But before we put everybody in a position. I like to see the alternatives. Man, our mercenaries are really, really bad. It's comical how bad they are. All right, so for that, Chandra is almost looking the best for that role. Definitely not our mercenaries, so Chandra, you got the job. For this, it's likely Octavia or Valerie. I like the peaceful resolution. Tethered Knight could be a decent choice here as well. So here Renogar has the best option. Treasurer, we have really no great alternatives other than Enders. Our party is bad with money, that's it. Okay, well, I mean, it potentially would help to level those guys up, but that's a different story. So we got one region, right, which is we can claim the outskirts, and that will require 14 days. And we should start with that relatively soon. But before we do that, because that's fast forwarding 14 days, let's start with the things that aren't going that well. Now that the undead engineer's curse has been lifted, it might be prudent to study it before we prepare. Requires 45 days. Good. That actually is good. As for the economy, basically there are problems and opportunities, and we will need to focus on problems first. We have no events, we have a couple of projects. Our merchants will receive the right to establish a sizable trading post. That's more building resources and more building resources and more building resources. Project costs, we have insufficient funds for that. That would be good to do that, but not now. Then Ivansin Keen has a strong interest in spreading the Stag Lord's faith across the region. He's eager to build a shrine, but at his own expense. Accepting his wish would be a useful ally. And that could be Enders the Wise. That can oversee it. Plunder the Temple of the Elk and rob all of its remaining treasure. Prevents future restoration. Nah, we're not going to do that. Rebuild the temple, making it the center for Erastiel's worshippers of all surrounding people. Unfortunately, Harim is already plenty busy, so we can't do that now. Ender starts that project. Very good. Then, in terms of economy, I would love to get a little bit more income. Can we get anywhere near the level that we need? No. We could get more, but definitely not the 1,500 building resources. Not now, but later we could definitely go there. So we've appointed advisors, found the region. Now it's a question, do we want to start claiming the outskirts? Likely not the worst idea, because my experience is if we start that at the beginning of your rule, that will be helpful. So, success. This is now part. We basically got the outskirts, which will allow us to build a town over here. So we're expanding. We got 2 further events. The shrine has built up. Harren seems worried and wants to discuss something. We can do that in a second. And an advisor wants to discuss something else. We can see about that in a second as well. Unfortunately, we can't upgrade that. And we don't have the 1,500. We just claimed another region. So let's hear what these guys have to say. Your Grace, please spare a moment of your time. As you know, it's my responsibility to hear what the words are that are spoken in when you're absent. And I must say, what I've heard lately does not bring me peace. The people are suspicious of their new Baron, but I know how to solve this problem. We took the liberty of composing a list of the wealthiest and most influential merchants in the regions. All that's required of you is to hold a lavish dinner to show them how generously their support is rewarded. You would draw heavily from the treasury, but I'm sure they will appreciate the gesture and your noble attention. Okay, so we should hold a fair to the common people, or we should hold a luxury dinner. Or I don't care about arranging anything we do without festivities and feasts. I would actually I'm a ruler for the people. So, new event spawned from that one. And then Harim comes forward. I heard not that it is important. Well, I heard that an ancient trade road built on the dwarfs of the 5 Kingdom Mountains runs through these lands. I don't know what happened to them or where they went. Unforgiving times spare no one. But the road itself is still here. And possibly not only the road. Well, Hawkbite, I have a request. If you find any dwarven ruins in the area, I'd like to see them with my own eyes. Of course. Thank you, Hawkbite. Really, thank you. Your Grace, I was at Oleg's trading post recently and noticed the old Brocken just standing there and bored to death with nothing to do. This was unfortunate. After all, the old Grumbler is a very knowledgeable alchemist. However, he has no use for his skills since the locals need nothing more than the simplest of healing potions. And then it struck me, why don't you hire him as a court alchemist? His decorations and tinctures would certainly prove most useful to you. Also, it might be cheaper than simply buying from him some sort of other merchants. Okay, so a couple of things. Projects. Spend 2 weeks resolving the loyalty of the citizen. This would increase the loyalty of the citizen. Not sure if I want to do that now, if I want to go adventure. But loyalty is important, very important. Community as well, economy as well. So a couple of things are actually important here. But I think we're not going to go with that, at least not for now. We can come back and still increase the loyalty. No problem with that. Nice. So, what I'm going to do is I will sell a lot of stuff and buy a lot of stuff. And I'll fast forward that for you guys. And then we're going on a little bit of an adventure trip. So, fast forwarding. Alright, back. So, I did all of our kingdom management. And not only that, I had a couple of nice conversations. So, plus, shouldn't have forgotten about that. Mr. Hawkbite is now officially level 6. Great. Fabulous. Let's go. I leveled up a couple of the advisors because I realized that their main stat is determining how good they are as advisors. So, just increased their performance as advisors a tiny bit. And before we're doing the next project, which is leveling up the loyalty of our kingdom, we're actually going to do some adventuring. So, let's check our journal, shall we? So, Stolen Lands, we can close that. Errands. Can I abandon the quest? Alright. So, how to build a kingdom. That is not a real quest. You can build a strong nation. An ancient curse. Like, that's just an explanation. Okay, fair enough. An ancient curse. Next development in 30 days from now. So, we do have a little bit of time. If my memory serves me well, the curses always kind of start 14 days in advance, so we actually have 13 days to do something. Then we do have loyal servants. I have the feeling that just 5 leaders won't make a real council. I hope the Baron can find new positions for his government or can come up with some. Unlock new leader posts. For that, we will need to upgrade our kingdom, so nothing that we can do immediately. Then there is Braken, who could be our alchemist. We need to find him at the trading post, so we can definitely do that. There's plenty of land around the capital that seems to belong to no one. What if a hero was to claim it? So, add 5 regions to your list. Cool, we can do that. Then we have a couple of companion quests, and we got Troll Trouble. The nymph suggested the Baron set off to her chambers an old tree growing inside the ruins in the middle of the woods. She didn't invite anyone else. Looks like the nymph is only interested in offering her reward to the Baron. So, what we can do now is we can actually claim these resource nodes, which will increase the stats of the kingdom. And we can also, in our kingdom management, always kind of work on projects as and when we're on the way. So we still have a few things. Kill Tuskgutter. What other companion quests? Mysterious Tiefling will be waiting at a place called Sorrowflow. Is this over here? What am I missing? We're not finding it yet. So, and then Unwanted Legacy. Many years ago, dwarves built a road through the lands. Though this has long been guessed over, Harim thinks other ruins of the people might remain there. Perhaps those with heart should not be reopened, but Outcast Dwarf would like to see the ruins. Still, I think the ruins were pretty much over here. That's also where Sorrowful is, and I remember vaguely that there was a lot of content in these hills. So, for starters, let's make our way up here. Grab the notes on our way. And start traveling. I mean, we could do Tuskcutter, I suppose. How do I feel about that? But then we have Emery with us, and we would need to go back and kind of replace her, but we could theoretically move up here. You know, it is extra experience. Nah, I think I'll skip on the companion quests for this playthrough. $14 hours. All right. Let's go. Good. Get some culture. I like that. And from here we can march forward. Another 10 hours. Can't even evade the random encounter. Okay, well, I mean, if you guys are fighting, then let's just do the buffing.
Does anyone require my counsel?
Okay. So far, so good.
Everything has a price.
You want this.
So many thoughts.
Adventures await.
You want this.
I need to concentrate.
And this.
Keep your wits about you.
Make him big.
I appreciate privacy.
I always have the upper hand.
We should move.
My face onto your flesh.
Gosh. So many trolls. It looks like a horrible idea. Level 6, all of them. This guy's level 4 and level 5. I mean, some of them are blinded, but they just waltz through all of the enemies. Alright, Hawkbite moves to here. Nice little glitter dust. But all of them succeed. It is what it is. Ankit. Makes himself big. Because boy, this is going to be a tough challenge. Oh, I bought something, a little gimmick here. Let's see. Because now, my dude, you can kind of bring the pain with a nice little fireball. But instead of doing that, I think the right thing to do is buff everybody. Alright, Kairon. Self-buffs, buffs. Increases in size. This is a serious random encounter. It's not like your average 2 bandits level 5 type of encounter. Level 2 bandits type of encounter. We're getting a flaming weapon, and now we're finally buffed. Good, the bandits are all dead. Which brings us to an important question. How do you feel about Greece? Oh, not good, yeah? Well, that sucks. I'm so sorry to hear that. Hawkeye stands in the front and we're just going to wait. You know, I think we're not going to get much better odds than this fireball. Look at that. 34, 34, 34. And that instantly killed one of them and the others got severely injured. Good, let them come. I think I've misclicked. That's unfortunate.
Out of my way!
Good hit.
Die, die, die! We can do it!
Yeah, we're level 6, 2 attacks. Let's go. Hawkeye gets some extra AC. So you can probably tank.
We can do it!
You know what?
Strike with all your might! We won't falter!
This is unfortunately requiring too much movement, so we need to move up and strike. Coup de grace. Fortune saving throw succeeds. Okay, well, I guess it succeeds. Did he really succeed again? Okay, so actually killing him will not be that simple. Let's try to kill him. Again, not happening. Finally! And kid moves up.
Strike with all your might!
Alright, Jim. Despite the burning bowl, it is not suppressing the regeneration, by the way. But there should be good loot, all things considered.
Work! Work, you silly spell!
Oh, we can't coup de grace because he's not dead yet. Yeah,
Let
that
the
makes
attack
sense.
commence!
But after that sneak attack he is.
I can't cast it like that. Clean strike!
Okay. Couple of these things. Bandit Necromancer. Yeah, it sucks if you're being attacked by trolls and you're not ready for them. It's effectively a death sentence.
The way seems clear.
It's effectively a death sentence, specifically the casters. I mean, they did clever things by blinding one of them, although I wouldn't understand how they did it, because blind
Without a doubt.
is a fortitude save, if I'm not mistaken, and these guys have phenomenal fortitude saves. But afterwards, their front line just couldn't keep up. Nonetheless, good random encounter for us. I like it. So, travel a little bit longer.
I must replenish my powers.
Alright, let's move there. Let's travel over here. We're almost at Oleg's post. Just double checking, we haven't claimed this. And this, okay. So those two and this one. Might as well go over here and then look for Sorrow Flower, because that's the first concrete lead that we do have.
Never stop learning.
I do things my way.
Don't
Quick, quick! Else we miss all the fun!
I'm up for an adventure.
I don't need anyone's sympathy.
We shall move!
Stay on your toes.
Knowledge is the key to victory.
Okay. Let's buff up a little bit more.
I will not be trifled with.
Does anyone require my counsel?
I don't know how hard the encounters are,
They should have known better.
so we're rather buffing up sufficiently.
Your
This is a level 2, so the answer is not very hard.
We won't falter.
That goblin is level 1.
May I see your entrails, please?
I don't like you!
What? But he still has 22 armor class. It's a bit crazy.
I'll loot your corpse.
I crave for adventure.
I need to concentrate.
Just normal stuff, and he has 22 AC. Well, I suppose that's how it goes, but the good part is the hard stat improvements are hurting more at the very beginning of the game. As we go, our gear and just the buffs are going to offset some of those just overpowered buffs, and it will be less and less problematic as the game goes.
My life is a burden.
In other words, you can outperform, or you can grow faster in power with your team than the enemies grow, and the stat buffs are mostly static, so they're not adjusted over time. This here, by the way, is our new village that we built, Trade Guard. Let's shortly get Oleg on board, and then...
March on.
Oh, look at that. We can bring all 6 into Oleg's trading post now. And here's Brocken. Brocken definitely wants to be our alchemist. Not a huge deal, really. I do it myself if I were younger, but if you're willing, I pay you 3 potions for the berries and a purse full of radish. Or do you need the fang berries and the moon radish, Brocken? You want to know? Well, I'll gladly tell you after you bring some to me. Alright, I'll try to help. So, he wants some radish and moonberries. Wand of Snowball, a new one. Wand of Mage Armor. Does Oleg have +1 Falcons? Because that would be just too great. It's a lot of masterwork stuff. Flaming Crossbow, Heavy Flail. He has Falcons, but he doesn't have, what's it called? Fouchards. He does not have Fouchards. That's unfortunate. Well, we're going to get them later. Wait, maybe Oleg has something for us to do. He's a major NPC at the end of the day. And maybe I'll do Tuskgutter just because it comes up over and over and over again. It comes up over and over again. When in doubt, save. Yeah, I wish it would be that easy, dear game. I wish it would be that easy. So a few more hours. I think grabbing all of those resources is actually not too bad. Just double checking that we haven't accidentally forgotten anything here. No, we did not. Because sometimes you're effectively seeing regions when you do have a higher perception check. And at the beginning, they don't show up.
I'm up for an adventure. Now
There is no greater satisfaction than overcoming
That could have been the case, but
until one
I
day
think
the
this time
challenge overcomes you.
we're pretty sure that it's not the case.
Everything has a price.
knowledge is the key to victory.
I always have the upper hand.
So many thoughts. Adventures await.
Does anyone require my counsel?
Good. Here we go. Lots of centipedes. I think I
Stay on your
over-prepared.
toes.
Maybe in the future I'm just starting to scout first.
It's no use.
Stab their backs.
Follow me.
Yeah, we successfully killed 2 centipedes and I did full buff up for that. On the other hand, if I'm not doing it and we're running into something like the trolls and they spot us out, then all of a sudden things are not that fun anymore. Wait, something happened in the kingdom. So, events. New merchants have arrived in the capital. That's good. I think they want to us to greet them. We're going to be there sooner or later. The ancient curse is what we're looking at.
A rest is in order.
Good. Off we go. Let's move down here. Claim that. And I think now we got all of the resources claimed. Did I forget to claim that? This resort belongs to a region outside of your territories. Oh no! So I first of all need to get the northern marches going. Okay, understood. Okay, lesson learned. Don't waste your time there. How can we get to there? I think might be able to cross over. Nah, this was just the undead
stopping now.
that wanted us to kill. And the bridge is still in absolute disarray. Although I would argue that you could theoretically climb that. So we can go to here and then move up. Another event. Look at that, we brought up the values quite substantially. So where do we want to go next, really? We got Bald Hilltop, which we cannot reach yet because that's the event of the curse. We can get Tuskgutter. We could afterwards go over here, Tranquil Riverbed, or the alternative is we're going through here and then just exploring the lands. In terms of kingdom, I would really like the northern Northlands to be ours. So I suppose we need to explore all of that. Let's start with that. Court Alchemist. We need to get Fangberries for him, that's fine. And we have effectively 6-7 more days, so that might be enough to get that Tusk quest done and then go back. So if we slot in another DPS.
March, march. All I do is march.
With Emery, who do we take out is the question. I think one of our two DPS question is which one is better suited to be taken out. So this time,
my path.
So you are going to be the one that's sneaking.
Stealthy approach.
And I trust that you can explore. Level 2 undead? Yeah, okay, well, listen.
I do things.
Don't know, don't care. Concentrate.
Hesitation is a waste of time.
Good.
Cover me.
Just start attacking and we're good.
Shred them.
Alright, surprise, surprise. Another skeleton.
Your death.
And surprise, surprise, that skeleton is missing. Good. I was not expecting that that's going to be a hard fight. Normal scimitars, not even masterwork. Yeah, GG's. Anyways, as I was saying, whom are we going to take
March
out?
on.
We take out Guy Aaron, then we're taking out our best hitting character.
I tire of waiting.
We could theoretically also take out Jim. And we don't have a ranged character, but I might regret that. I might regret that. Okay, so first and foremost, did I even level her up? The answer is no. Good, so I leveled her. Let's quickly get her in any easy armor. She doesn't have a whole lot of stats, and I don't need a magical armor for her. But any little armor will do.
No stopping now.
It's a bit of the problem. If you're equipping your mercenaries and effectively the other mercs are completely unequipped, then that'll become a problem later in the game. Here you go, 17 armor. Like I said, it's not great, but it is okay. She's attacking, has 2 attacks with a ginormous sword. Might as well make the most out of it. She does have a lot of damage if she hits.
Follow me.
So we are on our way to Tusk Gutter. So who are we going to replace? A good question. I think Aaron. Is that kicking him completely? No. Yes, okay, that's much better. There we go. So, you, and you. And then that is it. Luckily, barbarians aren't that difficult to play. They are rather straightforward. Ancient Curse still has a few more days. And after the Ancient Curse, I think we can finally start traveling. Oh, that looks like a Manticore. Good.
Be defeated.
What are we dealing with? Ferocious Troll Hound. Man, that... Okay, we're having a problem right away. Barkskin. Moves to here. Breezes that entire area. And then gives ourselves a potion of Shield of Faith.
I won't give up.
Man, that is wild. What's their AC? 25. Okay, now we gotta buff ourselves. Wand of Bane, True Strike. We're starting with growing. And of course we're missing. So she has enough hit points to take the tax. Now we can stand up. Cure serious wounds. Ridiculous. Okay, We need real healing power. Serious wounds it is. The 5-foot step was barely out of range. Putting it on Amri, it's definitely not what I wanted.
I'm wounded.
It's definitely not what I wanted. This here is hard CC instead of just making them blind, and that's really what we need at this point.
I'll loot your corpse.
Unfortunate. Taking the one on the ground that is already tripped. Take the AOO. And Hawkbite is standing up. Potion of Cure Serious Wounds. Thank you. Moving slightly back so that that guy needs to move. With moving, it'll provoke, and on top of it, Grease will check. Okay, for the first time in a while, we're actually not on our back foot. Hawkbite needs more AC so that he can tank these guys. And all of those four might need to be blinded. Failed, 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 failed. Unfortunately, also the Dwemer had failed, but we got everybody else.
Stab their backs.
Double hit. This guy fell down. It's now on the ground. Huge sneak attack all around. And Kit begins to move a slight bit back. I don't want double attack of opportunity. Hawkbat takes a cure moderate wound potion. And begins to fight. Ah, that's still 2 attacks of opportunity. Now,
This won't kill me.
unfortunately, cure moderate wounds, not that good.
I'm all right.
Cover me.
Guy is pretty injured.
Burn. Slice. Behead.
We can do it.
11 hit points is not enough to just stand up.
I'll survive. I always survive.
We're barely keeping her alive. Another glitter dust for the 4 of you.
Your death awaits.
Good. Now everybody finally has fallen down. Wow, what a tough encounter.
I'll loot your corpse.
Mega critical hit. The guy didn't die. Same here. All right. I can't imagine those types of encounters without actually playing on round-based modus. Imagine everything would be happening at once. It would just be carnage.
We can do it.
Finally. One more coup de grace and we're done. The Dwemerquette does not forget those who help her. We shall meet again, perhaps. Who knows? Okay, well, thank you, Dwemerquette. You fought very well. We, on the other hand,
I'm up for an adventure.
have room for improvement.
Magritium Turinos. Magritium Turinos.
Yes. Axel. Yes. Axel. Yes.
And those trolls just died without even leaving anything. Fantastic. Listen, guys, it's getting a bit late. We have a long episode. I think the next time we're going to do Tusk Cutter. We still have plenty more to explore. And for now, I think that's a good time to stop the episode. It was also a very close call. So thanks a lot for watching. Have a good one. And we will see each other the next time in Pathfinder. Bye-bye.